Oh no, we're on.
We are on, yes. And this is Jeopardy Live Panel. And I am Andy Saunders. And we don't have the title card because I am on my backup computer right now.
Why don't you shut this off? This is terrible. Hold on.
Apparently, Jennifer wanted to play some public domain music. That is the famous Jennifer Morrow.
Hello.
Noted Rush fan. Noted,
Yes.
noted Rush fan and noted...
Radish.
Dancer, yes, dancer.
Oh yeah. Whatever.
Other members of our panel this evening, we have, of course, I cut to him right as he drinks, the defending Tournament of Champions winner, Ben Ingram.
Is he still defending? I mean, is this like a, the current Tournament of Champions winner has to meet him atop a mountain and there can be only one sort of thing? Or isn't he done?
No. You're thinking of the Karate Kid.
Ah.
The current Tournament of Champions winner we'll go with. If it makes you any happier, we also have from this past week's episodes, last past Friday, I believe, Sam Suarez. Also, we have noted beer connoisseur and founder of the JeopardyFan.com, Jeanie Kenkel. I think her video has gone away, but...
Oh, no. Or she just looks really, really sad.
She probably looks really, really sad because I called her noted beer connoisseur.
She's going through a moment. Oh.
So her video has gone.
Moment.
But when she gets back, I'll have to tell her, and she's making her way back on right now.
She's gone into the second dimension.
Yes.
She's gone to Flatland.
She's gone to Flatland. We also have David Kendall.
She's participating in a new version of Cool World.
Yeah.
So, David.
Yeah.
In a different part of his house, there's no mask behind him. Hello to David Kendall.
Oh, David! Evan!
Because
I'm sure
you missed my
Jerry would be happy to hear that.
Who wants to tweet her with that one? Okay. So yes, you missed my introduction. You missed my introduction earlier, Jeanie. I called you noted beer connoisseur.
Oh yeah, right.
What happened?
Hold on, who among us here is not drinking at the moment? I'm not.
You're not?
I do not have a beer in front of me right now.
I don't have anything.
Andy, whatever happens, we're not going to get any worse than Chicago, so we may as well get going.
That was Dallas, but
Oh, that was. I was
They don't even remember.
Yeah. So yes, once again, this is Jeopardy Live Panel. I have nothing for this week in Jeopardy history this week, just because usually the season's already in summer reruns by this point, and so things don't really happen, or at least they haven't the last few years. I guess one thing.
When was the summer reruns? When is the summer rerun starting this year?
I believe there is still 1 week of regular episodes left to play, and then then the reruns begin. But I will give a shout out to Stephen Goodrow, who this past week, a few years ago, won the last of the tapings of his season to become a 5-time champion.
Oh, it's a gadabout game, wasn't it?
I think that might have been the gadabout
Yeah,
might have been the.
That was one of his regular season games, and his regular season games were played before the season break. I remember that because he lost his first game in the new season.
The gadabout.
Yes, the self-proclaimed gadabout.
Yeah, we'll skip over that, I guess.
Okay, so, Jennifer, I want to open things up by talking to you a little bit.
Okay.
Definitely, we mentioned a little bit last week that you were kind of polarizing to a few people. I was a fan. I was a fan.
Oh, thank you.
But I mean, obviously, was it a conscious decision to kind of be a little bit more over the top than some of the other contestants you've seen?
Well, I mean, it was in the sense that I know that I'm more over the top than most of the contestants I've seen. I mean, it's not like, let me put it this way. I said, yeah, I'll go on Jeopardy and be over the top, but then again, I go through my life and say, yeah, I'll go through my life and be I mean, it's not like there's an offsetting to this for the most part. It just kind of is at all times, in office meetings, in, when I'm out with friends. I mean, I don't really know what the down version of this is because there isn't one. So, I mean, I said I'll be the wacky contestant on Jeopardy, I guess, but I mean, it's not like that's, I don't know what else I would be. I can't really picture myself going on there and not being like that because that's how I always am. I mean, the funny thing is even when I thought, okay, this is over the top, things that I did on the show and said that's too much, I would then go on Facebook afterwards and see all my friends and family going, oh my God, and she was so herself on the show. Just nice to see her. That's really her personality, just going out there and being her, and it's like, oh, okay then, I guess.
Well, that's what they always want in Jeopardy. They want people to be themselves. I mean, they don't want you to be like, I don't know, any other contestant. They want you to be like
Who
Sam,
else can you be?
Nothing against that.
It's an existentialist question. The
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that I've read, articles about auditions that have been held since I've been on, and they always begin now with dancing. I mean, Maggie will turn on, like according to I think there's the Boston Globe and some other things, Maggie will turn on the Jeopardy theme and tell everybody to start dancing. So, clearly whatever I did, they liked, even if a lot of other people didn't like it. So,
But on the other hand, though, you wouldn't want to pick somebody who can go in and dance to the Jeopardy theme, and that's not who they are. They're not.
Oh well, no, of course not. I mean, I think that's got to be just for loosening people up. But I don't think anybody else will be making it their thing anytime soon. Let's put it that way. After the reaction that I got.
I don't know.
So who knows?
What to call yet?
Someone will copy you. I guarantee someone down the road will copy you.
Someone will.
If they think it has a better chance of getting them on the show, I'm sure that they will try and be unique, just like Jennifer.
Yeah. Though I don't think that she'll end up getting Neil Peart's.
Nope, just one. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
But the contestant coordinators are pretty savvy. They would know if somebody's there and they're trying to copy you rather than being themselves. They're pretty savvy.
Yeah, or even not even copy me, but just be something they're not. I mean, I think in my case, they certainly sensed that this was kind of how I am. I mean, I think you guys have all interacted with me or seen me enough on, social media and other places that you kind of know, yeah, this is just kind of how I function as a human. So, I think we lost Jeanie again.
Uh-oh. I know she's been having some technical difficulties, unfortunately. Same with, I don't know what happened with David's video either, but I think the internet just hates everyone today for some reason. I'm really not sure.
I know that feel.
Yeah.
It hates everyone every day. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm on.
Nah.
It's just a conduit.
Yeah. Just a conduit of hate.
Yes.
So, I guess.
On that note.
Yeah. On that note, Sam and Jennifer, you guys both played against Scott this week.
Scott the Destroyer.
Scott Lord,
The Destroyer.
Yeah, the
PT-109.
Yeah.
I almost would say that he might be more of a Dark Lord than the Dark Lord, for sure.
Yeah.
But
I love that.
But yeah, so I mean, your perspective, was he? I'm going to start asking Jennifer for your perspective on playing Scott, because you played him first, obviously. Did he seem in rehearsals like somebody who might?
I'm I'm going to be perfectly honest. I always, before I'd go in, when I'd go into the room, I'd always pick out the two shark. I'd always pick out like the sharks in the room. Who are the potential sharks? And I won't say who I picked on my first day, but I will say on my second day there were two people I picked. One of them was Scott, and one was Sam. I said he looks like he could be. He just seemed, I don't know, like ready, game face on, ready to go. So I thought those are the two people who I'd, be most worried about playing in battle. And I mean, honestly, having seen Sam's game now, I can see that was a fair assumption to make because he played a strong game.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of said, thank goodness I didn't play that guy too. So.
Well, to be fair, in my defense, it may have seemed like I knew some of the answers in the practice round because I had seen that game and actually remembered all of the answers. So they actually use previous games in the practice round. So I had seen that episode and actually still got the color, didn't remember the author of The Color Purple. But, yeah.
I just remember I had so much trouble during the practice round with the most stupid questions in the world, and so I thought, oh God, I mean, like the ones that, you know the questions, the ones that are like, this game is played with tees and clubs, like those kind of level of questions, and I just was sitting there going, uh-oh.
Tinky Winky.
I just made Teletubbies.
Poor Andy. We're so sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Teletubbies. That's one of my favorite pub quiz questions I've ever asked. Is Poe an Italian river, a Teletubby, both, or neither?
Nice. He was an American author from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Depends on the spelling.
Yeah, it depends on the spelling.
So, yes, I mean, we've obviously got Jennifer's thoughts on Scott so far. Sam, you saw him win 4 games, and then we're called up to play against him.
I mean, I was not hanging out with him for most of the day. We had lunch together, during the lunch break, and he seemed very personable. Seemed like a nice guy, and I mean, anytime you're going up against a 4-time champion, you think, okay, this guy's obviously done something right. But my impression was he had gotten, he was a good player, and he had gotten Final Jeopardy. I think he got Final Jeopardy right every single day he was on. So, I mean, he obviously knew how to play, and he seemed like he was doing pretty well. But, I mean, you can't really control who you play against. Yeah. So it was, just sort of saying, hey, this is who I'm going up against. I mean, you don't really, if you're intimidated, that's your thing. But I thought I had a chance, but it all came down to obviously for me it came down to one question, and I whiffed. So
it happens,
that's the way it goes. And as soon as his answer came up when he wrote it down, I was like, I knew that was the answer, and was just like, well, whatever. So that's just the way the game goes.
We all have our little things that haunt us, I mean, everybody I've talked to who's been on the show has that one, I mean, it could be anything. It can be a river.
William Tell.
Okay, I can hear you, Andy, so I know what you're talking about.
Oh, Benedict.
Yeah. I said the same thing you did because I didn't think it through. I had a habit of taking a breath before every daily double, make sure I was right, but that was the time I did, and I heard Pope, I said Francis, but one about the small land, I wish they had put the square mileage.
Well, see, that was the thing too. In that question, I immediately went for small land, and I was like, okay, Belgium's not that big. I mean, Belgium's not that big, and I immediately I saw Brussels, and the thing that sort of gets me about it is I had actually read an article about that flight about a year ago, and it didn't even pop into my mind. And that's the thing about playing the game. You're going with the first thing that pops in your head for 20 minutes. And then on the last question, it's really tough to say, okay, let's think about this a little bit more because it's 30 seconds. But I literally spent 10 seconds, 10 or 15 seconds thinking of, okay, Brussels, this is the capital of what? Belgium. And so it was one of those things where my head was, but, I was in a good position, and he got it wrong, and he got it right. So that was the thing. It was a little bit more of a different situation too, because they actually spent about 5 or 10 minutes, judging whether Icelandic was an acceptable answer.
Because it said this small land.
This small land. But actually, the other thing too is the name of the airlines is actually not Icelandic Airlines.
Yeah.
Really?
It used to be Icelandic. It used to be Icelandic Air, but they've since changed the name to Iceland Air.
I didn't know that.
So technically, Icelandic Air is not the correct answer, and that was the other thing that gave me a little bit of solace. I didn't know that either. If I would have put Iceland, if I would have put Icelandic Air, I would have had the same answer as Scott. So, that's.
So what was it that the judges decided that made them think Icelandic Air is indeed acceptable? Because that sounds odd. If the name of the airline isn't Icelandic Air, what made that answer acceptable then?
I don't know. Actually, I don't think it was made exactly clear from the judges. I think they said that if Iceland, I guess because Icelandic Airlines used to be the correct one. Technically, if you go by the reading of the question, any airline is incorrect because it's asking for the country.
Yeah.
So I think they just said that anything with Iceland was acceptable.
I got nailed for saying they wanted an adjective. They specifically asked for an adjective. I said barbarism. Trebek said yes, and then a bunch of voices off stage said no. They wanted barbaric, obviously. So in the end, it wasn't a matter because he wagered small from third. It was third, and then Stratton, and then close first.
Yeah.
And that was what it came down to too. He was very strategic, and that's where you've got to be in third place.
Yeah.
He definitely.
That's where you've got to be in third place.
He definitely bet properly for the situation, especially with the game being that close. I've got a couple of questions actually. Yeah, I'll go with this one next because I've had a few friends ask me about this. Some of my friends from baseball Twitter specifically, because a few of them are asking, and I'm thinking, Jennifer and Sam, you might have the best way of answering this for me and therefore these people. How is Erin doing? Because we haven't seen her much online in terms of baseball Twitter recently, and some of my friends were asking me how she was doing, and I was wondering if either of you got much of a chance to talk to her specifically over the week or over the taping.
Erin
Selzler from Ohio. She was on Thursday?
She was on Thursday.
Yeah, I had been gone, I left after my game on Monday, so I didn't have much of a chance to talk to her.
I haven't actually. I think I was talking to her a little bit during the day. I didn't really get a chance to get her reaction afterwards, just because I was getting ready to go on stage. I knew that I would be on Friday, obviously, because we went across the country. But no, we didn't really get a chance to talk much after the game, just because we we won again. I was getting ready to go on stage, and she was coming off. So it was a little bit of a heartbreaker on that one.
Yeah.
That was I wouldn't have gotten the answer on that one either. I was thinking I was not even thinking any. I think I made up a university on that one. So that was another tough one.
Yeah.
It was
It was a tough week, but no, I also thought that giving Icelandic Airlines, I guess they figured that anything that included Iceland was acceptable, but especially on the heels of her Brigham Young on Thursday. That could have influenced them too.
Yeah. Yep. I think Ben's off.
Ben, for some reason, I'm not sure why you're muted. Your mic is on. There we go. Go ahead, Ben.
I think I dropped my laptop last week and the touchscreen's acting up. That might be it. But I know a person named Bingham, for example, not Brigham, but I know another person named Bingham, and they are two different people. But there's only, it could be true that there is only one national airline for Iceland. So if you were to put, let's say, like Israeli Airlines, I don't know if that's the same as El Al, but it's the only airline in Israel. I think I'm overthinking it, but.
Well, I should point out that that's not the case in every country. In fact, they're up in Canada, of course, our flag carrier is Air Canada. Back in the day, maybe 20 years ago, we also had an airline called Canadian Airlines. So.
Good point. But still, it's two different people. I'm sure that there's a Brigham Young out there someplace. There might even be a Brigham Young University. I can see why they called that wrong, but that Icelandic Airlines, maybe they should have thought differently about it. But it's a lot closer call than Brigham and Brigham.
Redo.
Wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. Wouldn't have mattered. What I bet. I had to get it right.
Yeah, exactly, and
You made the right bet. I think you made the right bet.
Yeah.
I was going for the win, and I don't know if anybody's a fan of The Wire. My comment on Twitter afterwards was, "You come at the king, you best not miss." That's exactly what I thought.
Baltimore. That's where Edgar Allan Poe is from.
Okay. We actually have some people who are sending in some questions on the hashtag using hashtag Jeopardy Live Panel. First one coming from longtime or former panelist and contributor Megan Barnes. First up, first question. This one's for Jennifer.
Okay.
What do you recommend to keep your energy for a second taping day?
Oh, God. The first day, I had actually, before my first taping, I told my parents, you need to take me to Disneyland and tire me out like a small child. Because I kept thinking, when did I have the best sleep of my life? And it was always after I'd, run around at Disney, and they'd put me to bed and I'd rest up. So I did that, and of course, as soon as I got off the stage on my first day, I said, I gotta go back to Anaheim. And they said, you crazy, So we tried, I told them, just take me to the beach and let me just run along the shore. And we tried to drive there, and as a New Yorker, I'm not used to the idea of if you can't get to somewhere via car, you can't get there. It's just like you take the subway and get there, and the beach was just closed, and there was no place to park. The entrances with the parking were closed. And so I just was so wired because I had no way of getting it out, and I didn't sleep as well as I wanted to. So just, do whatever you can to just get a good night's sleep the night before. Because when I stepped out on that stage, and I'm embarrassed to watch my third game because I just see myself and I look punch drunk. And, with the Daily Double and the Final Jeopardy that I both whipped, that information was rattling around in my head, but just the pathways there were completely destroyed. I mean, I had no way of just summoning up that information based on, it was just, I felt before I stepped on that stage, I said, I'm not going to make it. Because I said I have to try, obviously, but I knew as soon as I got out of bed in the morning, I said to myself, I don't think I'm going to make it. Because the previous day, I had felt completely raring to go. I had felt at my physical, mental peak. Next day, just ruined, absolutely ruined. I mean, you just have to do learn your body, I guess, in advance. Just learn what puts you to sleep, what makes you feel good, what foods, what factors go into a good night's sleep for you. I mean, just do whatever you can to get good rest, because without it, your subconscious is just starting to go, and you need to just have the creative imagination to get to those weird answers and make those little connections that you wouldn't otherwise make, because otherwise that's a key part of the game.
But Jennifer, you don't need to go to Disneyland. Isn't the Jeopardy set Disneyland for trivia?
Well, I didn't have access to the Jeopardy set after my taping. They let me run around it, I'd actually...
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mentioned to Ben, actually, that if I had had a bad first round, a bad Jeopardy round, what I wanted to do is put on, the warehouse, like Never from Footloose, and just do the dance, the angry warehouse dance backwards from the podium, throw the little mini water bottle and just dance backwards from the podium, jumping around, but no, I didn't feel it.
One thing I recommend, at the DoubleTree, the hotel, where they recommend you stay, they have these, I think they're fixies. They have these fixed gear bikes for rent, just these cruisers. They're awful. But if you ride for about 20 miles a day before, you get a good night's sleep. I think one advantage that I had that Jennifer had not, I played 5 games the day before I went out for the next time, and Jennifer played only 2. So that meant that she was not as tired that night before she had to go back for her second taping day.
Yeah. I was still revved when I came off that stage. I just remember, actually, I told my parents, I said, when I get off that stage, I will be so revved, I will just be crazed. I'll be like an animal. Don't say anything to upset me, just back off. And, of course, as soon as I get off the stage, my dad says to me, great games, but, you were taking so long to make your bet. What were you doing? You were upsetting Alex. Immediately, I was just, screaming obscenities at my parents in the Sony parking lot. Meanwhile, people from the audience were walking by and going, Jennifer, congratulations. Thanks. What the hell are you doing? Shrieking at them. Every 4-letter word on the planet in front of these poor tourists coming out of the audience. And I was just so revved. I do remember, actually, I hadn't had a chance to eat a donut all day, and when I got back to the dressing room, I was like, I'm a champion. You know what champions get? Donuts. And I walked in, there were no donuts. It didn't matter that I just won 2 games. I was like, where the hell are, what? How dare you do this? I was just freaking out because I was so crazy.
Champions get sprinkles.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, all the donuts were gone because people were sad. Everyone was like, this is a consolation donut.
Or because they didn't want to give me any more sugar after watching that.
True too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, yes. Megan's second question. That's where I was going to get to. Oh, and before
there's more.
There's more.
There's more. Well,
Not
wait.
only is there more, I also remembered my own aside as to when I was playing Quiz Bowl at university, how I would get my best night's sleep before tournaments. The tournament was Saturday. Thursday night, I would just get completely loaded drunk. The hangover goes away about 5:30 on Friday, and I would get the best sleep of my night, the best sleeps of my night on that Friday night before the tournament, and then I would go on Saturday and rock the tournament. So clearly, 2 nights before you get plastered, the night before you sleep really well, and then you go and ace Jeopardy. So
that's good advice.
That's
one way of looking at it.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Serving as a role model to the children.
Yeah.
Hi, kids.
Good advice for the kids tournament too.
You could be like us one day. Wouldn't that be great?
Okay, so yes, Megan's second question. What did you think about having a poll about whether or not people liked you on J-Board?
That was the least of my concerns at that point. The worst of them, that was nothing compared to the people on Facebook and Twitter posting "Ding dong, the witch is dead" when I lost. So, it's...
That's a little bit mean.
There's a lot of really terrible stuff.
Keep in mind on Facebook, everybody was saying, "Oh, good, I love Scott. Now that Jennifer's gone," and now a couple days later on Facebook, "Oh, we hate Scott."
Yeah, no.
Also, keep in mind it's Facebook.
That's the main
Yeah.
to listen to Facebook.
I did like
again the point we made at the beginning. All of the hate in the internet.
Yeah.
Yes.
The highway of hate.
Just a conduit.
I did like that on previously TV, like, there was some complaints again, because everybody always complains about the new champion, but, somebody who is not fond of Scott said, I don't like him, but that doesn't mean I want Macarena McFoxtrot back.
Macarena McFoxtrot.
Macarena, I suppose in light of Macarena McFoxtrot, the J-board poll would be the least of your worries.
Jennifer, next time you go to a hotel, I want you to check in under that name.
Yeah, no, Macarena McFoxtrot, that's, yeah, no. But that's actually one of the reasons, I wanted to say, one of the reasons actually why Ben is here and why I asked him to come along is because he was actually a huge help during, oh, no, stop making that face! He was a huge help during that whole thing. I mean, I had followed him on Twitter beforehand, and suddenly he just, like, popped into my direct messages and started pep-talking me through this whole thing, like, basically being Mr. Motivational Speaker. I joked to him that he's kind of like, the Clarence to my George Bailey, but with more beer in the United States. So, but I mean, really, we lost that. There we go. But no, I mean, like, one of the things that I really want to point out is that the Jeopardy community itself was so supportive and kind to me during all of this, and without it, I mean, you asked me how I feel about the poll. I mean, what I really felt comfortable knowing was that the other people in the community whose opinions were the ones that I really cared about were supporting me and were behind me in this. So, it's easier to laugh off the other stuff, knowing that I had good people, helping me through it. So, yeah.
I'm sure not everybody in the poll was actually a Jeopardy champion, so at least you can say that.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was part of the reason of the poll, too. It was to demonstrate that, hey, the real fans here, they're the ones that have your back.
Yeah.
And I think, I forget who it was that posted the poll, but I think whoever it was knew that it would come out massively in support of Jennifer because it's made up of real fans like us.
Yeah. And people who know that everybody plays the game in their own way. I mean, in my case, it wasn't like, I mean, the people who criticized me said you're destroying Jeopardy, and the people on that board are savvy enough to know that that's exactly what the contestant coordinators would have stopped me if it had been something that they disapproved of. I mean, they don't. Exactly. It's not like anybody can just run amok across Jeopardy and they just let it happen. I mean, they
would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
Everybody just gets mad and just. My brother had a thing. He was like, I wonder if someone's ever gotten mad. This was in the '80s. Said, I don't want a friggin' vacuum cleaner than rip out that big CRT podium and then toss it into the audience. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
I think Barbara Lowe came closest to that after she
was yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty close. Barbara Lowe. Hi, Barbara. Remember us?
We know you're watching.
I don't think you can watch this from jail, but...
Yeah. So, Megan's third question now. Again to Jennifer. When you picked out the...
Let the other children share here. Come on.
When you picked out the two strongest competitors, did you beat them up to establish dominance?
No, but I did write my name as
I was not physically assaulted.
No. I did write my name as large as possible on the podium, though, to establish dominance. That was a conscious action. That was like... And I also marked the other podiums with my scent. So...
I was just going to ask if you did.
That's gross.
Hey,
I didn't notice when I came
on. Sam.
Anything you can to win.
They have, like, a ladies' room, right?
Mm.
Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
Oh, never. I thought.
Well,
okay.
What? Yeah.
So, some of the other comments on the live panel. This is from @OnTheRadio. I don't know if I'm watching a hashtag Jeopardy live panel or the world's weirdest episode of Teletubbies.
All I need is a triangle over my head, and then we're okay.
From Vaughn Winchell, two comments. I did not like the wording of that small land Final Jeopardy either. Tough luck for Sam, who did play great. And then they spent 5 or 10 minutes deciding to accept that answer and still got the call wrong. To that, Vaughn, I have to say, have you not watched a Major League Baseball game recently?
Yeah.
Because they do the exact same thing.
And have you
they
not
have
read
replay.
the paperwork where it says that you have to abide by the judge's decision?
Also, to Vaughn, you sure you want to be questioning the judge's rulings now, at this time in your life? Because you might want to hold off just a little longer before watching those play.
Question everything. United States.
Especially the facts.
Yeah. Trust no one.
Trump.
Okay, so yes, going back to the hashtag, my apologies. I'm using my phone here to get the tweets because usually I have TweetDeck up, but yeah, I had some computer issues on Wednesday night, and my normal computer has the distinct smell of fried motherboard. So
Yeah.
That happened to me once.
Yeah, that's not good.
Sympathies.
it's not a very fun. Yeah, it's not a very fun thing when you kind of the zap and then the smell and it's like, oh, so that's what happens when your computer fries.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so some more comments from the hashtag. SNL this was from On the Radio again. SNL was right. Donuts is the breakfast of champions.
Mm-hmm.
A popular question tonight will be, who's not watching I Am Kate? I don't know, but I can name 6. Actually, 15 because we've got 9 viewers on the thing right now as well. Megan with the Ben is a Jeopardy angel, a man among men.
Yeah, what is that about? I don't. I saw that, but I'm just maybe I'll scratch my head over that. But
I think that's in reference to the nice things that Jennifer had to say. And from.
Thank you anyway.
And from.
According to Stephanie, that's Alex. Alex is the best.
It's a good way of putting it. He's an avenging angel. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, and from Kea Chua, my breakfast was about 6 of those tiny water bottles.
Yeah, they're like, what, half a pint?
Yeah.
Count about 3 of those a game.
Of water?
Of water, apparently, yeah.
They had to keep labeling each of them.
Well, it's in California. They
They're rationing now.
It was not gin, Liz. All right. How many times?
But actually, it's a good point, though. With the water rationing, they might have just been like to Ben, whoa, slow down there, Mr. Jeopardy champion. You know, you haven't gotten the winnings yet.
$3 for 8 ounces.
Oh, dear, yeah. Well, I mean, like in terms of water, I can definitely speak to being not before going on the show, but before my audition, I could barely get a coffee, a Snickers bar, and a Coke into me. I was so nervous, but
That's breakfast champions right there.
Yeah.
That was like final exam in college.
Oh dear.
Before my game, I just wolfed down an entire turkey burger and most of the side order with fries. Everybody else was like.
Now, did you know going into lunch that you'd be in on the Thursday, Jennifer?
No, I didn't.
Oh, really?
No.
You don't.
Oh, you didn't. I thought you said you did.
Did not.
No, you don't.
But I will say I wore my little scabbard, my little drumstick scabbard, into the Sony commissary, and I felt like I was in a Sword and Sandals movie. Like an extra, like going in, with your, all I needed was the helmet, and then sitting in the studio commissary eating with my little scabbard, and I was just so happy. I don't know. It was something I wanted.
Like the pride and the passion kind of.
Yeah.
Only thing missing were swords and sandals, I guess.
Did you keep the scabbard on throughout your whole run?
Yes! I kept it on. I brought it to the bathroom with me. Maggie was like, she thinks that's good luck. Like she thinks that's the secret to success. And I'm just like, no, nobody can touch them.
How'd you get it past security?
They let me. They're just wood.
Yeah. They wouldn't set off the metal detector.
No.
Okay.
Ben, you still seem skeptical. Oh, yes, there they are.
There they are.
We've got the drumsticks.
Go in.
The drumsticks.
The famous drumsticks. I have another question. This one's for Sam. This is actually courtesy of Jeanie. She's passed this along
right now. Yes.
to me, but I'm not sure in case you were in or out. But
Yeah, that's why I sent it to you.
if you want to go ahead and ask it, Jeanie.
Oh, well, is it time for the panelist questions to each other?
No,
Or
but
not?
you can ask it anyway.
Okay. I just saw...
This is freeform. There are no rules.
Okay.
No rules, just
I just
right.
saw something on your profile that you're about to be a father.
Oh.
Right?
3 weeks from yesterday.
Okay.
It's the appointed day. I actually spent all of my day-to-day painting a bathroom because we just moved into a new house. We just moved into a house like a week after we came back from LA. So
I'm not sure you're taking things slow this year.
yeah, no, I've definitely had a little bit
mellow
going
year.
on. But no, my wife Danielle was what?
Oh, I'm sorry, Sam. You're in the Raleigh area, right?
Yeah.
Bring me some Biscuitville one of these days. I'm near Charlotte.
Okay.
We don't have
All
one.
right. That's definitely a possibility.
Cool.
Definitely a possibility. But no, we live just the most north part of Cary that isn't Durham, basically. Yeah. It's right near where both my wife and I work. Yeah.
This typed out to us, but you guys can't see it. But I'm gonna announce it anyway. That was an awkward question for me to ask so loud in a subway.
I'm having a time. It's in my Twitter profile.
There's such thing as awkward questions.
I'm sure that's not the most awkward question you've received from somebody this week, Jennifer.
Oh!
Yeah.
No. But
Okay. One segment that we normally have is, or we've started to have, is teachable moments. And you've missed that one, Ben. Normally it's where David and I rant on how much the contestants don't know about Canada. But
Oh, I thought you meant about how we behave.
oh no,
Well, we
no,
make
no.
that
That is a teachable moment.
Yeah,
we
nothing
make it
about
that
how we
this week.
behave. But
Well, who can have any
basically,
complaints? Hold on. Who can have any complaints about how contestants behave this week? Come on. Come
yeah.
on.
Here.
But the thing I want to touch on is I want to give a shout out to a dear friend of mine, Keith Williams, who is running out of liquor.
Yeah, I know. Keith, if you're watching, anytime drinks on me, man. Really. One of the reasons why I was haunted, like why I bet tie in my first game, even though there are no more tie bets allowed, was because I was so panicked picturing the angry video that Keith would make about it while I was on stage that it just increased my anxiety. I was like, Keith will be angry at me, but I don't know how to make him less angry, and that scares me. And I knew I was dreading that moment. Unfortunately, the video was much easier on me than I deserved, but there was actual fear there because I just kept picturing how much alcohol Keith would drink. I swear to God, I pictured just the amount of liquor that would be consumed from my own idiocy while I was being idiotic at that moment. Standing at the podium, picturing Keith just judging me.
So, where I was going with this was he had a lot to drink this past Thursday.
Yeah.
And,
Oh dear.
and
that made
in
me-
this moment, go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say, you know what that made me think? I bet a lot of people who watched the show were thinking, oh, they must have wrote the wagers down, and then they changed the score and didn't give them a chance to change their mind. But that's not the case. That was just a poor way. It wasn't even 4,000.
I know, yeah.
You pointed
When
that
in
out.
doubt.
For me, it was 5,000. You're supposed to wager 4,000, son.
But the thing is, at least if she'd wagered 4,000, she would have stayed ahead of Anne Marie.
But, you know, cats rule.
Yes.
Ow.
Yes, so there was that, and as I was saying, the teachable moment is for all of us, because obviously my thought is anyone on this panel, anyone listening, is already part of the choir. So, so it's almost like preaching to the choir, but I have a favor to ask of everyone listening, everyone watching, everyone on the panel. I know all of you guys would bet properly.
If we remember, if we can emotionally
don't count your chickens on that one, but
I messed up once.
Yeah, okay, but I'm just saying.
In theory, sitting at home on our couches, we bet.
Yes, in theory.
Don't even count your chickens on that one.
No. The favor I want to ask everyone is, if you have a friend or an acquaintance who is going to be on Jeopardy, please, please, please tell them about Keith, or even about me. I would be just as happy to help people. And follow up and make sure they take your advice. Because I don't like it when things like Thursday happen at the best of times.
Aww.
Poor Keith.
Yeah. You know, it is scary up there. I will say again, it is scary up there when you're making that wager. I just remember on my Friday game, I was having trouble doing the math. I was totally flummoxed. And suddenly, as I'm standing there, I hear, "Math not your strong suit, Jennifer?" And I look up, and there's Alex leaning on his desk like this, just watching me.
Wonderful.
While I'm betting. And just smiling in the weariest possible way. And I had to, like, say, you know, I'm just worried that people are going to judge my wager or something. That didn't help, you know? Like, watching this happen. Sitting there.
I love Alex.
That's not your strong suit, Jennifer.
Well, I guess that's, I guess that's what you get because he likes you, so.
I like him. He's a nice guy. We got along. I don't know why. Yeah. God knows why, but I don't know.
So, Jennifer, I'm going to ask this of actually both Jennifer and Sam.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the entire Jeopardy experience?
Dancing with the Tuesday with Trebek.
Mine, probably just being on the stage. Just being on the stage, and the only thing I wish, the entire experience was great. I couldn't have asked for more. The only thing I wish I would have done is gotten a double Jeopardy, gotten a daily double. That was the only thing I wish I could have done. But I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I think I would have gotten all three of them in my game wrong. So.
I'm just happy I got to do the true daily double and 2112.
Yeah.
2112.
Yes.
Nice. Rush's is a burger joint in Columbia, by the way, so it's an interesting name for a place.
I'm not gonna lie, Jennifer. I'm more of a fan of moving pictures, but
I'm a Power Windows girl myself.
Okay. But I also am a big fan of kind of all the puns behind the album art on moving pictures as well. So, fun fact for the Americans, that actually is that picture, the album art for moving pictures, taken at the Ontario Legislature in Toronto.
I didn't know that.
I did. But then again,
Rush fans know that.
Yeah. Well.
Yes. Okay. Another comment from Vaughn. I'm a math teacher and I flubbed the math on a wager for a daily double. Jennifer's right about pressure.
Yeah. It's deadly. It'll kill you.
Yeah.
Math not your strong suit, Vaughn.
I majored in math and I had a hard time. I'll go ahead and admit it.
But that is one thing why I practice every day, and I consider math a strong suit for me because I know when I get up there, it's going to need to be second nature, or I'm probably going to make a mistake. So
I would guess maybe if you're in a situation like Andy and me, and we haven't been on yet, and maybe this is something that I should do. I'm guessing Andy might do it, but maybe this is something I should start doing, is figuring out wagers during the commercial break before final, what everybody should bet.
You would have
and then compare later with Keith's video.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people watch or see. I do that already, and I actually tweet out every time I watch what I would bet from each. What I would personally bet from each positions as part of my kind of what I call the delayed tweet. Yes, another question for Jennifer right now.
Talking all of them. What is?
Well, this one's from me because you mentioned to me about how you got along really well with Anne-Marie.
Oh yeah, she was a sweetie. She was a real sweetie. And
she's Canada.
Well, yeah, but.
And now, would you? I mean, you kind of thought that she might have a little bit of trouble once the game got going. Now.
She just seemed nervous. I mean, I think, some people go, okay, this is it, this is the moment I've been waiting for, and some people go, oh my God, this is it, I'm playing Jeopardy, and everybody else is so good, and obviously you have to be good to be there, but, it just hits people sometimes, and I mean, I think she was, I think it just hit her, on stage. I mean, certainly, like I said, everybody who's there deserves to be there or they wouldn't be. But I think she really was struck by it, and I was worried about her. But honestly, her final Jeopardy answer was just phenomenal. So
I can definitely agree. I was a fan of the Cats rule in terms of final, especially after betting 0. It's like she knew, okay, I'm gonna. She
second.
Yeah, she came second, which is.
I mean, let's not forget that she still managed to come in second place.
By the way, if you have questions for anyone other than Jennifer, feel free to submit them on
no
Twitter.
More questions for Jennifer right now. Let other
Jennifer
people answer questions.
Jeopardy Live Panel, otherwise I'm going to have to change the name to Jennifer Live Panel.
I mean, oh wait, I was the internet calling me a narcissistic attention whore. Now it's like the Jennifer Morrow question and answers. Like, stop it already, stop.
Yeah, used to it.
Yeah.
And tell me what it's like.
Now, you've been on TV.
Television.
So, Sam, what question were you most happy to get correct during your game?
The one I probably am, the one that I think it didn't sound, when I watched the playback, it didn't sound like I took that much time, but it felt like I just buzzed in the right time, was Shredded.
Oh yeah!
Shredded in Single Jeopardy was that, although everybody I was watching with, we watched on Friday night with a bunch of my friends in a hangout one of my friends manages, but everyone said the one thing, Jennifer talks about thinking fast, the one thing I wish I would have gotten was there was another question in that category that was, the answer was daddy. A technical right answer is, who's your daddy, Trebek?
Yes.
Nice.
That would have been a correct answer. I
have to tell you, watching that from home, my mind was sort of like, yeah, maybe I would have done that too. It is tempting. I don't understand why more people don't do that to him, because he clearly enjoys it.
Yeah.
I mean, the best, actually, one of my favorite parts, beyond even the Patuzzi, was when like right before my commercial break, like he says, like, and you didn't do a thing, and I'm just like, do you want me to? And he just started laughing. He didn't even know what to say to that. It just went straight side and then looked out. I mean, he clearly has fun with that. I don't know why more people don't play around with the clues and categories like that. And incidentally, I just wanted to say, Sam, do you like snowboard at all? Because you just said shredded in this way that like made it sound like you had personal experience with shredding.
No, I don't snowboard, but I do
Really
mountain bike a little bit.
delivery of the word. You're just like shredded.
You can shred a mountain bike. So that's yeah.
It sounded like, you know, yeah, he knows what he's on about.
Yeah.
Well, I must say though, if you did that, who's your daddy, Trebek, then the Facebook people would probably hate you for not being taking the game seriously.
Yeah. No, it would definitely.
True. Well, we've learned that the hard way now, haven't we? I thought it'd be fun. I thought people would be like, "Oh, look, it's fun Jeopardy." So you're like, "You ruined the show." Destroyed. No one's, you know. Like, they let me do this. They were so like, "Yeah, this is fun." Okay, Jennifer, do your thing. And then they're like, "No, she disrespects the entire show." I tried to make it fun. I tried to show other people that it could be fun and you could do goofy things, and instead it just backfired.
Okay.
Man.
So I have another 2 questions from Vaughn.
Okay.
Or one comment, one a question. Sam, was a comment for Sam. Shredded was a good get. He did not have that at home, and I didn't have it either. And another question for Jennifer. Jennifer is obviously an ebullient person. Did it kill her to keep the secret between taping and airing?
Most agonizing thing in the universe. I kept like going. People would be like, "Oh, you know, like I can't wait to see your episode." It's like episode. Interesting that you say it in the singular tense. You know?
It definitely took a little bit to get creative and find different ways to say I can't tell you because I signed an 11-page contract.
Oh, wouldn't it be nice if I suddenly had some extra money?
Mhm.
That was painful. It was so painful. I mean, I tell everybody everything. I can't keep my mouth shut, obviously. And so it was like, I hate this. And it was 3 months, too. So to me, it was just like...
Yeah.
It was a long time.
It was a long, long time.
This is one reason for me why if I get the call, I would not... I think I would tell the people I invite to be my audience guests. And that would probably be it. Or at least... I certainly wouldn't tell anyone within town, because if I told one person in the city, I would have 300 people asking me when I got back how the show went. So I learned that one after my audition, and everyone from the city councilor to the mayor asked me how my audition went. So
wow.
I just saw Vaughn just tweeted Jennifer Morrow is disrespecting
you would
the
tell
press.
them before
I'm not
it airs, though, right?
disrespecting the press. I'm just saying, what? What did I do?
I don't know what you did either. You're
What
gonna have to
did I
explain
do,
yourself,
Vaughn? I'm not
Vaughn.
disrespecting you. I'm not disrespect you. You're the long runner. Why am I disrespecting? You think I disrespect? I don't disrespect. What? You got something to say it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Hang on.
It's on the,
Oh, there it is.
What did I do? I don't know what I did.
Woo! We got some.
Okay.
They used
Question
to have
for-
bad love, but now they have problems.
Question for Ben on the hashtag. This one is from @DXDTDemon. He's asked a couple questions before. Which likely TOC contestant is Ben most glad he didn't have to face in his own TOC?
That's a good
All
question.
of them. Yeah, this is a very evenly matched tournament of champions field. I was scared to face the first group, but I watched them all do some good work, and honestly, I'm just glad I don't have to play anymore for a while. These guys are good, real good.
Still no word from Vaughn as to why he thinks.
Drop something like that and then be like, nah. Come on, what did I do? Was I disrespecting Vaughn?
Nah, he's Vaughn being Vaughn, I guess. No offense.
Okay.
Disrespect anybody.
So,
Vaughn being
Jennifer.
Vaughn. I'm not disrespecting anybody.
Jennifer,
Yeah.
question for you while we wait for Vaughn.
Okay.
Your first episode, your Final Jeopardy, your Final Jeopardy clue was a reference to Dreyfus and Zola.
Yeah.
What was your reaction when you saw that? When you saw that question, like how quickly did you know it?
I was like, it has to be. I got it instantly, but then I said, is that too easy? I mean, because I just, what writer do you associate with the Dreyfus affair? I did like the comment on Facebook that was like, aha, there's a Bible category and a question on the Dreyfus affair, giving it to the Jews.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I knew this would come. Oh my.
Yeah, don't say that.
Well,
Even if you think that, don't say that.
Yeah. But somebody did. And then what really pissed me off though is I got wedding at Cana, and I was like, see, ecumenical. I was so proud of myself. And then they're like, they're stacking it for the Jews. And it's like, fine, I was so proud of that. So
They're
proud
never
of
stacking for Presbyterians like me, but maybe next.
Yeah.
well, of course, one might say that they stacked things in Ben's favor by giving him Civil War questions. But,
No. I was gonna let that one go by. I'm gonna take that pitch, but I know what you're talking about. Also, that's not what it's called. But anyway.
If I got a Civil War question, I always liked the war between the states. And if I got a Civil War question, I always wanted to say, what is the War of Northern Aggression, and just see if they would accept that.
I said to kill the friggin' clock, but I wound up losing the game, everyone points out. That was the only game in which I did not eat potato wedges. That's my excuse.
So you ate potato wedges at the TOC?
Before the final, yeah. During the first time I was on, it was over 2 days. I ate potato wedges for about a day and a half.
Croquettes you enough, Jennifer.
I didn't eat any donuts.
No. Neither did I.
Someone's hangry.
Cats rule. No, I'm kidding.
That's the rule.
So, I have now personally asked Vaughn what he meant.
Yeah.
We'll see if that...
What you got? What you got for me, Vaughn? Come on. Come at me, bro.
Might have gone to bed.
It's just like,
Reload.
how dare you disrespect me? What?
F5.
So while we wait for Vaughn, does any panelist have any questions for any other panelists?
I've got one. What did y'all listen to before y'all went on? Because all this discussion about music and stuff made me want to ask that.
Right. We were going to do a discussion on your pump-up playlist before.
Yes. Okay.
I had a long list. I mean, I need to...
Well, of course you did.
Actually, right before I went on right before it was time, the morning of it, I listened to I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan. But I also listened to I Want It All by Queen, Best of the Best, by Stuff in the Hall. I had a whole, of course, Eye of the Tiger, I think, is on every Jeopardy playlist. But let's talk. What were your pump-up? What is your pump-up songs? What is your personal training montage music?
Well, recently, I have been a fan of a certain Songza playlist. Usually it is either the happiest pop hits one, or, interestingly enough, Modern Rock Uprising actually got me so pumped up before a run recently that I went out faster than I've ever gone in one of my intervals. So.
Nice.
Wait, hold on. We just lost David.
David.
We also have. I'm sure he'll be back. I have a response from Vaughn.
Oh, really?
Yes, he responded to me personally. Stead stodgy, the opposite of Jennifer. That's my style, and there's nothing wrong with it.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with this just for me. What did I say against? Did I say anything against Vaughn? Come on. What did I do?
I was staid and stodgy.
And then we have Kea with I prefer measured introvert. Or I prefer measured hashtag team introvert, sorry. I prefer measured.
Extrovert.
Introvert, yes. Okay. I don't know. I was a big fan of extroverted Jennifer on stage, so...
But I'm not, the thing is I'm not an extrovert so much as I'm just, like, out there. I'm actually kind of an ambivert in the sense that I'll be... I'm not an extrovert, I just play one on television. But, I mean, then I just go home and I, like, recuperate, you know? I just, like, go into my little ball. And everybody's like, you're so extroverted. I don't really feel that way. I mean, I was so drained afterwards from being that on, you know, and I didn't have a chance to just recoup like I usually do after I do that, you know? And sort of, I kind of like extrovert, introvert, you know, like I need that downtime.
You're a mesovert.
A mesovert.
You're a mesovert who like listening to Rush.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hell yeah.
United States. And Canada.
Okay, so...
Canada.
Comment from Kea, potato wedges are Ben's pump-up playlist.
I didn't have one. I had one when I was taking a course on finite element methods in grad school, which was harder, probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. And my pump-up list for that was NFL films. They had one CD out then, but after I graduated, they came out with Autumn Thunder, which is every piece of music. But during the Tournament of Champions, I had the song "Don't Call Us, We'll Call You" in my head by Sugarhead, or Sugarland? I can't remember. That was in my head the whole time until the final. And then the final, Ravel's Daphnis A. Chloe was in my head, the backing out. I put that in my head. That's why I threw my head back every now and then because my timing was just so off, and you know, everything fell off that time. But that was in my head, stuck there. I couldn't get it out. So, if you're wondering, since you asked, now we know.
For the 4 people on the panel who have been on the show, this is from Ray on the radio. If you got an invitation to play the game again, would you accept?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
I saw some shaking of your head there, Ben.
If I play again, I'm going to have to play like the Mike Dupays of the world, the Von Winchels of the world. All those. Oh, my gosh. Maybe Arthur. I don't want to go before the Arthur Chu and Julia Collins firing squad again. I was lucky to have they're alive, but yeah, I'd play again.
Yeah. You beat them once.
Yeah, about all I got in me, maybe, but we'll see. Those guys are good.
Okay, and okay, we also have an apology from Vaughn.
Oh, I see it.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I would avoid it from Twitter. Yes, your apology accepted, Vaughn. Apology accepted. Because I'm not disrespecting you.
Ooh, another one, Round Ball Rock. This one courtesy of Kea. Round Ball Rock from NBA on NBC. Fun fact: I think John Tesh did that one.
He did.
That's a John Tesh song.
He also did did he do the old NFL and NBC music? 'Cause John Williams did the new one. But I don't know. I'll look that up.
I think John Tesh just did the NBA one.
I'll find out.
Okay. So. Anyone else have any pump-up playlist suggestions? Jeannie, what's on yours?
No, I didn't have one. It didn't even cross my mind.
Why not?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool.
It was John Tesh.
One thing that I can or one thing that I think it would not be is the William Tell Overture, that's for sure. But,
Yeah.
Or anything by the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
So yes, again, Anyone else with any sort of questions for anyone else on the panel? Sounds like crickets.
Yeah.
Cricket.
Where was I'll ask you, Andy. What kind of beer were you drinking last night, and did you enjoy them?
I enjoy. Basically, last night I was at a beer tasting. One of my friends is studying for his Cicerone exam.
Oh, cool.
And so we were doing all sorts of hop-forward basically hop-forward ales, a few American hop profiles, a few English ones. The 7 we actually ended up doing as part of his tasting. Sierra Nevada Pale and Bigfoot. Twice as Mad Tom, that is from Muskoka Brewery up here in Canada. Arco Best Bitter, that's an English bitter from Wellington Breweries right here in Guelph. There also Fuller's Ale. Then finally, the other 2 is Rogue Nation Brutal IPA. That one is from the Portland area, I believe, but it's got an English profile to it. And then Red Racer, an American IPA from Surrey, British Columbia. Those are the 7. I generally enjoy that kind of beer as it is, so I was very happy to partake in that tasting, and I enjoyed all of them. Let's see, what else did I have last night? My untapped check-ins are telling me that, what did I have?
That's the only way to tell, isn't it?
Sometimes, yeah. What did I have?
No version of the hangover ever.
Yeah.
It's funny, hangovers don't really happen as much for me these days. See more. Afterwards, we just started drinking and talking. Let's see. My friend Jenna brought a flagship pale ale from Wheelhouse in Prince Rupert, British Columbia. Then Scott brought out a Double Nelson from Bellwoods, which is in Toronto. That's a double IPA. I contributed a Hibiscus Saison from Royal City here in Guelph, which is a very, very nice. It's a hibiscus infused Saison. Probably my second favorite Royal City offering after their Gordon Hill Hefeweizen. And then finally he brought out a tequila barrel-aged Warp and Weft. It's a sour beer from Bellwoods out in Toronto, and having that made me realize I need to try and drink more sours from time to time because
you need to drink more beer from time to time.
Did you say more or less?
No, more. Help small businesses.
Yes.
There are many around here in North Carolina that need your support.
That's true, especially in the Raleigh area.
Yes, true. This is very true.
But yes, at this point, my goal is to get to 1,000 different beers. I have currently checked in 119 distinct beers. So
you try hard enough. I forget how long it took me. I think I have like 1,100 or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to do. One of my good friends who actually just moved to Milwaukee from here would basically never drinks the same thing twice and is very into the whole thing. Would always get random things for me to try, and I'm like, Sean, I can't try 10 things. I can't try 10 things over the course of an hour. This is not going to work.
You need at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, need at least an hour and a half. But
yeah.
That's helped out. That helped out a lot. But you'll get there. It just takes a concerted effort and about 30 pounds.
That's why I started running.
Yeah.
Every hobby comes with a price.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And getting on Jeopardy will probably help with that, with the price of that hobby. So.
Yeah.
I like beer.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I like it as well.
Okay, so I'm going to check the hashtag one last time because I think we're almost at the hour and 3/4. Sorry, not quite hour and 3/4, an hour and a quarter at this point.
Wow. That's a record, I think.
It doesn't seem like
Time goes by when you're having fun, man.
Yes. Ray is happy to hear that Barry Manilow and Rick Dees didn't make any pump-up playlists.
Rick Dees. Ravel did, I guess.
I'm always Michael Bolton. If I had one, would have been on there.
Michael Bolton?
Michael Bolton. Okay. Well, last call for any questions from the panel.
And for alcohol.
Oh, I've got
One
some.
for my baby, and one more for the... Oh wait, that's not the public domain. I can't sing it.
Uh-oh.
I think as long as you're not getting any money, you're okay.
Yeah.
So, at this point, I'd like to thank everyone for putting up with the fact that my own technology seems to fail me this week.
I know you're going to say for putting up with Jennifer.
No, for putting up with the fact that my own technology failed me and we almost didn't get off the ground tonight. But glad that things worked out. This was I quite enjoyed this panel for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you guys, everyone, for listening. Thanks for taking part. I think we're nearing the 1-year anniversary of these actually. So
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
still kicking.
This is number 50.
Anniversary panel. We get everybody involved, like just then we can really do the Brady Bunch.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
I would love to do that. Unfortunately, Jennifer, the limit is 10 for one of these on video.
No, idea. We have Twitter vote on who they want off, and we slot in a new person until we have the ultimate panel of panelists. Tournament of panelists.
Ooh.
I'd like to stay on the panel, please. Thank you.
Very interesting. A tournament of panelists. That might not. Yeah. That's something for the summer hiatus. That's an excellent idea.
That's an idea.
About who gets voted out of the panel and who they want in.
That I had no idea what we were going to do for the summer hiatus, but that is now a perfect idea. Thank you very much.
Like around the horn.
Yes.
Yes. So you get points for your answers.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's stat boy going to be, Andy?
Yeah.
Clearly, Andy. That's a no-brainer. But, oh man! But no, the other thing is, in terms of people who've been on the panel, I actually counted this out recently. Well, because you have to put on your application how many people you know who you've had contact with who have been on the show. My list was over 200.
Oh my God!
Of that panelist.
I woke you up.
Yes, my list was over 200 people, 7 pages. Glenn actually commented on it during my audition.
Wow.
Sorry?
I was going to say, did you like staple them together so it's just like if they just open it to the next page and just a whole list falls out, you know?
Not quite like that, but he definitely Glenn commented on it during my audition.
Oh,
and of the 200, about 40% of them had been on the panel, so we're actually nearing 100 former contestants on the panel.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
This is the place to be.
Yeah.
NBC.
Okay. Jennifer, I think your microphone, I don't know if you hit your microphone or if I hit the microphone.
Did I hit something?
You probably hit something because I know I didn't.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So, yes, I'd like to thank everyone. Jeanie and David, I think, had some technical difficulties and left early. But to Sam, Ben, and Jennifer, this was a really This was a really good panel, and I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and also for taking part.
I'd like to apologize to Vaughn. We're cool. You're cool.
Awesome. That is. We don't need any feud.
No, we don't need a feud going. We don't need a feud. But it's cool. Vaughn, respect. Never disrespect on his part. Respect.
Okay, so thank you everyone for tuning in. For everyone on Jeopardy Live Panel, I am Andy Saunders. Thank you very much, and have a great night.